Hey, it's Mark Linear with your video thought for the day. So I've been reading through the Gospel of Mark, not because I was named after Mark. It's just where my readings had me a little lately. And I came across something that struck me today. In Mark chapter 13, it starts out, the first verse or two, says that Jesus came out of the temple. Now, let me pause for a moment. The temple at the time of Jesus was truly an amazing complex. It took up about 1/6 of the entire city of Jerusalem. It was on a hilltop. The stones, according to a Jewish historian, Josephus, who was alive at the time of the temple, some of the stones were over 10 yards long, 17 feet deep. I mean, this thing, how they built that in a pre-industrial, pre-crane era is amazing. But it was this magnificent complex of buildings, gleaming white stone. It truly an incredible accomplishment on the level of the pyramids and things. I mean, it was an amazing complex. And so Jesus walks out of this temple. And one of his disciples, who mercifully Mark does not name, so we can't go nanner to him. One of his disciples says to Jesus, he says, "Look, teacher, isn't this an incredible building? Look at these stones. This is a magnificent complex, isn't it?" I mean, I've walked around and looked at buildings before and said, "This is a gorgeous building." I love buildings. I love to go see beautiful buildings and comment on them and take pictures of them. I even draw them. It's not just buildings. I love, a beautiful sunset. I love to take pictures of things that are gorgeous. I love art. There's so many things that are beautiful to behold and amazing. And so I can relate to this disciple. And Jesus wasn't upbraiding him, but Jesus chose this as a teaching moment. Because Jesus said to him, "Do you see these great buildings? This massive temple complex? There won't be one stone left upon another that won't be thrown down." Everything in this world is destined for destruction and death. We've got gorgeous buildings in the world, but there'll come a day where they are destroyed. And what Jesus was doing was not denying the beauty of the buildings, actually, it's a complex. Jesus wasn't denying the ability to appreciate beautiful things. I mean, this is Creator God created the beauty around us and clearly has an appreciation for it. But Jesus recognized that so many of the things that we identify as beautiful and we put value on and we stand in awe of are merely temporary. And there's an eternal value, an eternal kingdom, an eternity that we should always keep in mind, that should draw our focus, that far exceeds in beauty any of these temporal things around us. I like that perspective. It reminds me of what Paul told the Corinthians in one of his letters. He said, when you're building your life and you're putting your life together, you can build it with wood, hay, and stubble that in time are going to burn up. Or you can build it with gold and silver and jewels that will last eternity and beauty. It's not that much different than the story of the 3 little pigs. You don't want to build your house of straw. You don't want to build it of sticks. You want to build it of something that's going to last. And that ultimately is what's talking to me out of this passage today. It's not that I should ignore the beauty around me, but that I should remember the difference between what's temporary and what's eternal. And I need to always seek first the eternal beauty of God's kingdom, of God's righteousness, and live that way. That's my video thought for the day. I'll see you again tomorrow.